Hello, and welcome back to this new video. Hope you're doing great. It has been some time that I did a video because I was a bit occupied with all the festivities around Christmas and New Year. Happy New Year, by the way. And yeah, but here I am. These recordings are therefore a bit older, but I put them into a video finally, and it is done, so I can upload this. In the last video, we decided I'm gonna fly the Harpy next, so here I am in this, in my opinion, pretty beautiful looking ship. I always liked Merlin Hull since I started playing, so it was great to be able to fly this. And I have to say, in my opinion, this is one of the most well-balanced assault frigates in the game. I did not expect this when I started flying it, but I had a ton of fun with it, and it feels the most like an upgraded version of the Merlin. Like, the Hawk feels like an upgraded version of the Kestrel, but it almost feels as powerful as a destroyer, for example. Like, that's a huge leap, but the Hawk just feels like a Merlin, but better. So I really enjoyed flying this ship. And in breaking the meta style, I did not fly it with a usual shield extender fit, but I decided to go armor fit to allow me to fit double web, which was super important in this, I can tell you that. So let's quickly simulate this. I have, of course, my 4 neutron blasters currently loaded with antimatter. Let me just switch that to void so you have the best damage type. 299 DPS without heat. If I overheat, we get to 335, which is quite decent. This threat was also very important because without this, kind of running out of cap, but with it on, you have pretty good cap, and if you heat, even more. And with heat and antimatter, you're even cap stable on Repper on, which is really good. Then we have T2 Scram, of course, compact wraps for CPU, T2 Afterburner just for the extra bit of speed because it is so slow. Then we have a small Ansel armor wrapper because I need to fit some tank, and the assault damage control, and 2 bulkhead ships. And I just want to point out, this is by no means optimal. This ship is not built for armor tank with hull rigs, but it works, and I had a lot of fun using it, and I feel like double web was really worth it to make this ship really good. So even though it is really not what this ship is built for, it is really the most optimal fit I've found that is not like just basic standard. So yeah, there we go. The speed is bad, the DPS is decent, the tank is okay, like you have more HP in shield than in armor, almost more HP in shield than in armor and hull combined. The hull rigs push the hull up a bit, but I did notice that it suffers quite a lot on the tank, but the Ansel does help a lot, and in some fights the enemy couldn't even break through my shield, so it might even be worth it to consider some kind of double web no tank at all fit. It's just going all DPS in the lower slots, kinda like you can do it on the Cormorant, but yeah, this is what I came up with. So I had some really good fights in this, and I noticed that especially in 1 versus many fights, this ship really shines. And yeah, I'd say we jump right into the fights, and I hope you enjoy. See you soon. Alright, here we are, right in the first fight. This is a fight that I have been looking for quite some time, because it was actually really difficult to find a Catalyst Navy issue that wanted to fight. Like, it was even harder to just find a Catalyst Navy issue at all. You can see I'm ADCing right off the start, but yeah, for the rest I'm just orbiting him 500 with antimatter loaded, because I'm just gambling on him having void loaded and I can make him miss a few shots. As you can see, when I'm orbiting him, he doesn't always get the perfect shot, so it's like there it grazes and here it grazes and there it glances off. It adds up at the end, and yeah, it was just very important for me to include this fight because I want to show how easy it is to fight Catalyst Navy issues in the T2 frigates of Caldari and the Galente. Like Hawk, Harpy, Enyo, and Exequror have the easiest and best time when fighting Catalyst Navy issues, and that is, in my opinion, very important. So I really wanted to get a Catalyst Navy to fight, because even though I dropped here into hull a bit, this is by no means a good fit, and if you really have a serious good fit to fight something like a Catalyst Navy, it will be a very easy time for you. So yeah, I just took him down pretty easily. Then we have the next fight. This is my first fight of me versus multiple targets. I made some mistakes here in this fight. Like, for example, I started the fight off loading antimatter, and this gave me the chance here to get some really good hits in, while we were not like point blank at each other, so he couldn't hit me, but I could hit him. But this will come back but later in the fight to bite me in the butt, as you can see in a second here. Because if I had been on Void, I could have taken at least one more down with me, and not just only the Comet, which was kind of disappointing that I only took down one of these guys. But yeah, I'll just let this fight play out. Here I'm getting some bad grazing shots in, so I have to start doing a keep at range. And now I finally start ripping this Comet apart. Although I tanked for a really long time, and I think that's thanks to his T2 rigs that he had. As you can see here, I also wasted a lot of my afterburner heat here right at the beginning, so when this Hookbill comes in, I can't really get close to him really quickly. And once I do eventually get close, like here in a second, I'm just ADCing to gain my tank back, because now I'm getting shot by a Comet and I'm tanking a Hookbill, and the burst is helping the Hookbill out. Like now I'm finally getting into Hookbill range, and if I had been on Void here, I would have really wrecked that Hookbill. But like this, I'm just really struggling with the tanking of the DPS. And I do hit the Hookbill hard, but the burst support plus his own answer is just too much and I can't tank it anymore. So I go down here. But that was a nice fight, and it was worth it in the end. So yeah, I sit there and look at 1v4, not a bad outcome. I was quite happy with that. And yeah, the Comet did have T2 rigs, which prolonged that kill for so long. Initially I had planned to take him down and then get out. That didn't work out the way I had it planned, so yeah. Next fight, I'm fighting an Exequror Navy issue. I slid in hoping he would be blaster fit, but he was indeed rail fit, so I'm in a bad spot here. But I thought, yeah, let's just try, see if we can bait him close. We know the Exec Navy doesn't have the greatest agility, because usually they have plates fitted. So I think maybe I can do a slingshot on him. But yeah, before he gets close, I just start taking down some of his drones. I think that would be a good thing, just distract him a bit. But there he goes recalling his drones. I preheat my webs and my scram, just to be ready to get him if he gets a bit too close. And yeah, here I'm just turning around, heating my afterburner, having everything preheated. And he does make the mistake of getting a tiny bit too close. You can see him slowing down, trying to turn around to get away. But he did come too close already, so I can just get into that orbit 500. And since he's kite fit, he will be rail fit, which will not really hit me very well at that range. But yeah, from now on the clip is a bit sped up. I just now noticed that the lights are flickering a bit too much. I should have maybe zoomed out more. But yeah, now it's just taking him down, keep shooting his drones when he launches them. But now in a second I realize that I shouldn't focus on his drones, because I lose a lot of time shooting his drones instead of him, while I can pretty much comfortably tank the drones. And the problem here is time, because I'm racing against his snoot. And you can see my cap is just slowly going down, but I just barely managed to keep with the Nosferatu to keep everything running, and I'm just very slowly running out of cap. Here I switch to Antimatter to hopefully to hopefully deal more damage to him. In hindsight, I maybe should have stayed on Antimatter, because Void has even more cap penalty, so my cap goes down even quicker. I have to start heating my Nosferatu here now. I also take off one web to conserve some more cap, but I have to stop heating now, and I can just hope now to grind through the rest of his hull, while with my Nosferatu keeping me alive. And I'm barely stabilizing, so I should be alright against the Newt. And if this fight doesn't go on for like 5 more minutes, I should be alright. And yeah, here I go, take him down. And there's Comet. He did have an 800mm blade fit, so that's why he was a bit less agile there, and I was able to catch him. And with the armor rig update, that medium oxygen nanopump also reduces agility, which allowed me to get there in with that slingshot. Okay, next, this is a very interesting fight. I was sliding in on this breacher, expecting him to run, but he did stay, and he wanted to fight. And I have to say, huge respect to this guy, because that is a super daring fight to take. And I really did not expect him to want to take this fight. And well, it wasn't the best fight for him to take, because as you can see, he's just melting, not even getting through my shield yet. But I respect you, dude. That is a big ball maneuver to stick around there and try to fight me. I respect the courage. So yeah, GF bro. I also sent him a Kestrel later to replace his ship, because I want to support that kind of behavior. And if he doesn't have to fly all the way back to GT to get a new ship, it can only be good for the whole war zone. This next clip is another clip against a cruiser, and it is again a sped up clip. We had a fight before this, the same match as Stepper Fleet versus Harpy. But the first time, first of all, I forgot to record the match, which is so unfortunate because I would have loved to show them both. But secondly, I also made quite some mistakes in the first fight. So maybe it's good I didn't record it, and I don't have to show you that. No, I messed up some fights, some things in the other fight. I heated my afterburner too much, and I ended up burning it. And I didn't micro my piloting very well, but I'm just paying very much attention to when I'm flying behind him, to then time that with my afterburner heat, and not just heat all the time, to make him miss some shots, and that works really well. I also ADC at the very beginning of this fight, I'm not sure if you noticed, but this is to be able to ADC again later in the fight, in case I get the timer off, which is usually what I like to do when I'm flying assault frigates, to just use the ADC right at the beginning, just in case I can get it off again at the end, and usually it works out. This was in the end a more interesting and intense fight though, because the pilot was a bit overconfident after the first fight, and he wanted to rematch and just... he was shit-talking local a bit. He claimed that it was not even close, and so I was challenged a bit as well to fly better, and he wanted to ensure his victory though, so he refit a bit, and he specifically put a kinetic partner in his low slot, or energized membrane, I don't remember, but he was trying to counterfeit my specific fit, so I'm kind of proud that I still got him, especially after that first fail where I just messed up so hard. But I'm just slowly grinding through his armor. He still has his armor rep, and he gets good shots in every now and then, which is making me really nervous. I now have to rep without answer charges left. Luckily, I did remember to turn off auto reload, otherwise I would have died here, because now in a second when I turn off my armor repper because of the cap, it doesn't go into reload, otherwise I would be dead here. But I also decided to just tank his drones, because before I defang him, I will lose so much time just treating the drones that he will get too many good shots in on me. So yeah, that is the luxury of flying an assault frigate. You can tank the drones, especially if it's thermal drones, which is the best resistance that I have on this ship. So that was nice. I almost burned my armor ripper there, and also my afterburner, but it was barely enough to keep grinding through that last bit of armor that he keeps ripping, and the last bit of hull. And finally, with 41% hull, I managed to take him down. It was such a close fight. Amazing fight, and thank you, dude, for both fights. I really appreciate it. There you can see Corporate B-type kinetic energized membrane. He cheekily refit there a bit, but it worked out in the end, so yeah, that's alright with me. Next fight, I was sliding in at the same time as this Hookbill, and there was a Corax already inside the site, so a little 2v1, and I immediately just approach to that Hookbill, get on top of him, and apply all my damage, thanks to the dual grab that is possible. And I think I also had antimatter preloaded, I'm not sure though, it might have been void. But yeah, I'm just doing huge amounts of damage to him. And both these slaves were a bit newer, which allowed me to take this fight, because usually against a frigate and a destroyer it's kind of a rough fight, especially with the Corax shooting the second best ammo into me with Nova charges. But what I was going to say, the Hookbill had an ECM jammer on his Hookbill, and that of course doesn't work against a single target. It only prevents locking of any targets that are not his own ship, so I could still lock him with no problems. The only thing it would have done is that I can't shoot the Corax while he is jamming me. But I was shooting him first anyway, so it doesn't matter. And I explained that to him and gave him a better fit. And yeah, I don't want to meet those guys again necessarily, because the first hit was close enough. And unfortunately, I kill made just as the Corax was about to explode, so we missed part of that explosion. But yeah, third of the fits. The Hookbill and the Corax. Okay, next clip. This is another fight, another example of how good this ship is in one versus multiple scenarios, because here I'm sliding in on an Incursus, Kestrel, and Maulus Navy issue. And the obvious first choice here is of course the Incursus, because usually the Incursus isn't the most tanked frigate. It kind of have dual armor rep, but that shouldn't be enough to have enough rep powers, and I should be able to just punch through that. As you can see here in a second, he's repping huge amounts, which tells me he is dual armor rep fit, but it just isn't enough. I can just punch through it. And the Kestrel did me the favor of coming close to me, so after the Incursus, I can just keep on brawling right on top of that Kestrel, dual rep, so he's not going to get away from me. I have to ADC here now because I'm flipping into armor, just to have my armor repper, my hull buffer, and the ADC, so I'm kind of fine here. and the Kestrel is also about to die, so then it's just gonna be me versus the Maulus Navy, which is using Acolytes, though which deals a lot of damage to me. But the Maulus fit was a bit weird, and he was Railgun fit. If he had been Nude or Blast fit, would have been a much closer fight, but like this I can just slowly catch up to him, get close, while tanking his drones, and then just as soon as I get into range, apply that huge damage, and he's not gonna tank that for long. I still have some gun heat left, so I can use that, and I am tanking fine. I still have heat on the Armor Ripper and on the Nosferatu a bit left, so it's fine to take him down. And it was a nice little 3v1 that I managed to take. So GF guys, it was a great fight, and yeah, let's do that again. I then did see the Tristan here on scan. I was considering fighting the Tristan, but then the other two pilots also reshipped, and they came back with a Hawk and a full nude. No, wait, the Tristan was full nude. But they also brought a Hawk and something else with high DPS. Something I didn't want to fight anyway, though I did stick around here for a second, but then I decided to just warp off. And I'm gonna show you the killers in a second here. Yeah, there's the Maulus Navy, the Kestrel fit, and finally the dual rep Incursus. So yeah, that was another great fight. Next fight, this is against the Thrasher, which is always kind of scary because Thrashers deal lots of damage and right into the holes of my resistance profile. So it's a bit of a rough fight. But this particular Thrasher was not quite as scary because it was an autocannon fit, so less DPS, and it didn't have a nude because the most autocannon fits also have nudes, which makes it even scarier. He was, however, kite fit, so I had to play around here with him a bit to hopefully get him a bit too close and be able to get him into my web range and then start applying my damage, because I don't have drones, I don't have more than 11 kilometers range on null, so there's no chance I can take him down. But he was playing it a bit careful. I think he might have thought that I was MWD fit and just bluffing my afterburner speed, because he was a bit hesitant to engage. But luckily the bad Mimitor locking range made it possible for me to force him in a bit. Like, he had to come closer if he wanted to start shooting me, and I did manage to cut him off there, get into range, which didn't mean that the fight was won though, because he also had a defensive web still, which made it kind of hard for me to get close to him. So once again I was really happy that I had the dual web, and now I can start getting into that nice close orbit 500, and I started applying my damage. He did switch ammo here to close range tracking ammo, which explains why he still got a shot in when I'm orbiting, but it isn't enough and I take him down. So yeah, GF dude, nice fight. And bye, Thrasher. Next kill mail, and another fight. This was also a very interesting one against the Dragoon, and this shows another really powerful thing of this ship. It has great capacitor plus a Nosferatu, so that combined with the nice DPS, I can outroll this Dragoon and take him down before he can nuke me out. I also use my assault damage control quite early here, because it takes a lot of cap and I want to be sure to be able to use it and not be neutered out, only be able to shoot my guns and not have enough cap for my ADC. So I really wanted to make sure that I have enough. I also heat my Nosferatu here a lot and my guns to hopefully just take him down quicker before he can nuke me out more. As you can see, it was still really close. I only had about a quarter of my cap left. So if you had like one more nude or two more nudes, it would have been even closer and I probably would have died there. But like this I could take him down. Okay, next fight against an Algos. Just sliding in on him, and luckily he's using Hobgoblins and Hammerheads, which is again my highest resistance in thermal. So I'm very able to just tank the drones. I don't have to bother with defanging and taking down the drones or something, and I can just fully focus on him, blast him to pieces. But there you can see the Algos is such a strong ship, because even though he was shooting into my highest resistance, he was still doing so much damage with those blasters and drones. And still almost took down my shields. Still have lots of tank and armor in hull, as I said, but still really close fight. And yeah, GF by the Algos. Here he goes. Grab the pot as well. And grab the drones. I'm gonna show you Comet in a second. Just a loot goblin, I can't help it. There we go. And there's the kill. Standard plexing Algos, really strong fit. Really like that one. And yeah, that's all the fights I have for you today. So yeah, I really like the Harpy. really had lots of strong sides. I didn't notice really any big negatives with it that I would like to point out. It doesn't have the most amazing locking speed, but thanks to the dual web you can still take on gliders, and as you saw with the Exequror and also with the Thrasher, it is possible to slingshot, although I would not suggest to try to slingshot stuff like a Slicer, Executioner, RT Firetail. Those are rough things to fight, like the RT Firetail that is kite fit, not the one with dual web. The one with dual web you can probably take with now, but I really enjoyed playing that ship. Would have liked to get more fights, but I already had the video quite full, so I think I will fly that ship more in my spare time though, when not doing it for the videos, because I really enjoyed flying it. Same with the Navy Venture from the previous video. So yeah, I'd say that's it, and I'll see you in the next video for the Maulus Navy issue. And yeah, one more thing about the giveaway that I did in the last video, you can still put your names in the comments. And for the last giveaway, I'm soon going to draw the engines, winners from the engines, and send out the skins. Once again, I had a bit too much work with Real Life, but I'm going to send the skins out soon, so don't worry. If you won, you'll get something. So, yeah, that's all. See you guys soon, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.